The last cool thing left. Why Christianity is the new counterculture. By all metrics of modern culture, Christianity should be irrelevant by now. We were told it was. They buried it beneath 1,000 Netflix specials, algorithmic nihilism, and a self-care industrial complex that worships the self as both deity and disciple. And yet, here we are, at the edge of the cultural flat earth, watching, almost in disbelief, as the ancient cross of Christ begins to flicker back into view on the horizon of youth, art, and rebellion. Because in 2025, Christianity isn't mainstream, it isn't sleek, it isn't algorithm approved, and precisely because of that, it just might be the last cool thing left. We're living in the age of radical self-vindication, where confession is obsolete and forgiveness is unfashionable. Social media encourages us to craft not just our personas, but our own moralities. Live your truth, they say. But what if your truth is corrosive? What if your truth is a cage built of dopamine hits, Uber Eats, pornographic escapism, and binge-watching your way into spiritual malnourishment? The world says, more is more. Jesus says, die to yourself. Now that is punk rock. The Romans didn't crucify Christ because he was boring. They crucified him because he was dangerous. He threatened power structures, overturned tables, exposed hypocrisy, and dared to say that Caesar wasn't God. He was followed by fishermen, prostitutes, tax collectors, and zealots, outsiders, misfits, the overlooked. Christ was a revolutionary who walked barefoot through the corridors of empire, and his kingdom was not of this world. In our era of curated rebellion and designer dissent, he remains the only truly untamed figure. To follow Jesus today is to rebel in slow motion. It is to unplug from the matrix of mass consumerism. It is to deny your flesh in a society that canonizes indulgence. To be modest in a world obsessed with exposure is not quaint, it's radical. To honor your spouse, your word, your neighbor, that's cool. Look at what society elevates: self-expression without restraint, pleasure without consequence, identity without foundation. Now imagine a young teenager, persuaded by the world and the influences of their peers, saying, I'm choosing celibacy, I'm fasting, I'm praying instead of partying, I'm forgiving my enemies, I'm rejecting pornography, I'm not trying to be famous. Is that not the most jarring form of protest available? There's a reason why the aesthetic of faith is finding its way into the wardrobes of skaters, rappers, and runway designers. The cross has been recontextualized, not because the faith has changed, but because the world has. When morality becomes radical and reverence becomes revolutionary, Christianity becomes the bleeding edge of cultural relevance once more. In the past, cool was leather jackets and cigarettes. In the 90s, it was ironic detachment. In the 2000s, it was hypersexual nihilism. But now, the pendulum has swung so far into chaos that serenity, virtue, and Christ-like character are the newest form of defiance. A life ordered by faith in Christ is a symmetrical melody in a dissonant age. The secular world scoffs at the notion of sin because it fears accountability. But Christ never came to shame the sinner, he came to save them. That's what makes Christianity not just cool, but human. It's not for the elite, it's not for the algorithm, it's for the broken and the hungry, and the ones waking up from the hangover of narcissism, wondering, is there something more? And there is. There's a reason why monasticism feels more like a flex than a failure now. Discipline has a new sheen. Self-control is the new rebellion. It's not about judgment, it's about alignment. A generation burned out on dopamine finally senses the wisdom in ancient rhythms. Prayer feels like peace. Silence feels like protest. The cross is no longer a relic, it's a mirror. The modern Stoics, the minimalist gurus, the wellness influencers, they're grasping at shadows cast by the gospel. The truth is, Christianity already gives you a philosophy of suffering, a code of conduct, a reason to live, and a reason to die. It has always been the deeper, sharper, grittier path. But it's never been for cowards. It takes real guts to stand for Jesus in a world where every instinct tells you to stand for yourself. But when you do, you're not just different, you're free. No brand owns you. No lust commands you. No trend defines you. And if that isn't the definition of cool, I don't know what is. Following Christ in this culture is like walking uphill in the rain, but he walked through thorns, carried a cross, and defeated death. And he didn't do it to start a religion. He did it to start a revolution of the soul. The gospel isn't domesticated. It doesn't sit neatly on a shelf next to your meditation app and your green juice. It interrupts. It pierces. It flips tables. It demands something from you, and in return, it offers everything. Christianity doesn't need to be rebranded to be relevant. It is relevant because it's real. Because when the party's over, the bottle's empty, and the Wi-Fi's down, you are still left with your soul, and Christ is the only one who knows what to do with it. So, is Christianity cool? Only if rebellion is cool. Only if character is cool. Only if following the greatest outlaw of all time, Jesus Christ, Son of God, Lion of Judah, Lamb who was slain, is the kind of story you'd want to be written into. Because here's the secret. It's not about being cool. It's about being holy. And in a world obsessed with heat, holiness is the rarest fire of all. Are you ready to wear your faith and declare your rebellion against the modern age? Step into faith mode, where premium fashion meets holy fire. faithmode.com